Is Sydney Sweeney dating Scooter Braun? The two of them were spotted in Italy, sparking dating rumors which have Sydney Sweeney's fans across the world going crazy.
There are reports that Sydney Sweeney is dating one of Taylor Swift's arch enemies, Scooter Braun.
Actress Sydney Sweeney, who is 27,
Hi, where's your bathroom?
It's for customers only.
Oh, okay, I'll buy something.
and Scooter Braun, 44, who is one of the biggest music managers in Hollywood, were spotted together in Venice, Italy this past June. The pair were seen together shortly after attending Jeff Bezos' wedding to Lauren Sanchez.
Yeah, a new video is circulating of Sydney and Scooter walking around Italy over the summer. We believe she was there for Jeff Bezos' wedding at the time.
This news will come as a massive shock to Jonathan Davino, as she recently ended her engagement. The pair had been together since 2018, and they called off their wedding earlier this year, officially splitting in April. Sydney Sweeney is the woman of the moment right now, with breakout roles in Euphoria and The White Lotus and lucrative brand deals with American Eagle.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn.
And her social media is blowing up thanks to her bombshell figure, which everyone got to see up close and personal thanks to her appearance in Euphoria's nude scenes. Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun stepping out together might be the headline of the week, but the real reason why they're drawing a lot of public attention is because they're quite the controversial pair. And honestly, that's what makes this pairing so fascinating. Because just when everyone thought Sydney was in her Hollywood sweetheart era, riding on the success of Euphoria and The White Lotus, things started to get complicated. Sydney has been praised endlessly for her acting chops, her looks, and the way she seemed to balance her rising fame with an approachable girl-next-door vibe. But that image started to get a little blurry once the controversies began to pile up. The first one that really blew up was her American Eagle campaign, the one that should have cemented her status as a glamorous and marketable star. Instead, it turned into a full-blown culture war.
A well-known clothing retailer is getting caught up in cultural politics. Some people complain the new ad by American Eagle featuring actress Sydney Sweeney sent an offensive message.
The campaign launched with huge 3D billboards, a wild digital rollout, and even a feature on the Las Vegas Sphere. It was cheeky, lighthearted branding, centered on the tagline, "Sydney has great jeans." But things went downhill when a clip of her playfully saying, "Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, my jeans are blue,"
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color. My jeans are blue.
got twisted out of context and turned into the center of cultural debates on TikTok. Because Sydney is blonde-haired, blue-eyed, and fair-skinned, a corner of TikTok decided that the ad was some kind of coded political statement. Almost immediately, hot takes went viral, and suddenly her jeans ad was being debated everywhere, from stan Twitter threads to late-night monologues. The controversy even dragged the White House into the conversation after Donald Trump himself jumped in with a Truth Social post praising Sydney as the face of anti-woke culture and calling her campaign the hottest ad out there.
If Sydney Sweeney is a registered Republican, I think her ad is fantastic.
For a girl who had been carefully building her reputation as Hollywood's next big thing, suddenly becoming a political lightning rod was the last thing she needed. And what did Sydney do? Nothing. She didn't comment, didn't clap back, and didn't even throw out a vague Instagram story. American Eagle was left to defend the whole thing, insisting that the ad was literally just about jeans with no puns intended. For some, Sydney's silence was classy, letting the noise pass by without fanning the flames. For others, it was annoying because she refused to take a stance. Either way, it turned her from Hollywood's untouchable darling into a more divisive figure almost overnight. Just when we thought things couldn't get out of hand, Sydney Sweeney took the world by storm by partnering with Dr. Squatch to release soap bars made with her bathwater. It was the kind of thing you'd expect as a joke merch drop from an indie musician, not a rising A-list actress. Yet there it was, marketed as a real and limited edition product. The internet, of course, lost its mind. Some fans thought it was hilarious, a playful nod to her sex symbol status. Others thought it was tacky, gross, or just another example of how the industry commodifies women in ways that blur the line between empowerment and exploitation. Sydney herself seemed unfazed, doubling down with posts reminding people that they had asked for it after her first Dr. Squatch ad went viral. She even pointed out the double standard, noting that when Jacob Elordi's bathwater became a meme after Saltburn, people celebrated it. When she did the same thing, suddenly it was too much. Her clapback was fast, but it didn't stop the criticism. So by the time Sydney was spotted with Scooter Braun, it didn't exactly help matters. She was already at the center of too many controversies. And Scooter, well, if Sydney comes with baggage, Scooter brings a whole Samsonite luggage set. Scooter Braun is no stranger to headlines or enemies. He's been one of the most powerful managers in the music industry, credited with discovering Justin Bieber and working with stars like Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and J Balvin. But ask any Swiftie, and he's something else entirely. Public enemy number one. The drama dates back to 2019 when Taylor Swift's long-running battle over her masters hit the spotlight. After leaving Big Machine Records, Taylor hoped to buy back the rights to her first 6 albums. Instead, Scooter swooped in, acquiring them himself. For Taylor, this wasn't just a business deal, it was a betrayal. She accused Scooter of years of being a manipulative bully, and her Tumblr posts ignited one of the fiercest fan wars the industry has ever seen. Taylor vowed to re-record her albums, reclaiming her work on her own terms, and the saga became a rallying cry for artists everywhere fighting for ownership of their art.
And so you didn't see it coming?
No. I knew he would sell my music. I knew he would do that. I couldn't believe who he sold it to, because we've had endless conversations about Scooter Braun.
For years, it stayed messy with cryptic posts, public statements, and plenty of thinly veiled lyrics aimed in Scooter's direction. And last but not least, a documentary. And in the court of public opinion, Taylor mostly won. Her re-recordings smashed records, her tours earned her a billionaire status, and Scooter's reputation took a serious hit. Fast forward to 2023, and Scooter's empire started to crumble. Reports broke that some of his biggest clients were walking away. Ariana Grande, Demi Lovato, and J Balvin were all gone. And even Justin Bieber, the crown jewel of Scooter's career, eventually left. Suddenly, Scooter Braun, the man who once seemed untouchable, was announcing his retirement from artist management after 23 years. So imagine the shock when Sydney Sweeney, fresh off her own controversies, shows up in Venice with Scooter Braun. To some, it's an odd match. To others, it makes perfect sense. Two people who know exactly what it feels like to be adored one minute and dragged the next. But that doesn't mean fans are on board. Sydney's fans are questioning her judgment, wondering why she'd get involved with someone whose name still sparks rage in entire corners of the internet. And Swifties? Well, let's just say they're not exactly thrilled about their girl's new connection. Some are even predicting that if this romance goes public, Sydney could find herself the subject of not just think pieces, but maybe even a thinly veiled Taylor lyric someday. Still, controversy has never really slowed Sydney down. If anything, it keeps her in the headlines, and in Hollywood, that kind of attention can be both toxic and powerful. Pair that with Scooter's ability to reinvent himself even after a very public fall, and you've got a duo that might thrive on the storm rather than the calm. Whether it's genuine romance or just a headline-grabbing fling, one thing's for sure, nobody's looking away. So what do you think? Is this a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up? One thing is certain, Sydney Sweeney and Scooter Braun together guarantee one thing: people will talk. And in Hollywood, that might just be the point. Which part of this saga shocked you the most? The bathwater soap, the jeans ad, or Scooter Braun's long-standing feud with Taylor Swift? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, hit that like button and make sure to subscribe, because trust me, we've got more intriguing stories about your favorite celebs headed in your direction. See you in the next one.